The atrocities committed to human beings over the previous century have gone unnoticed by many, and that's because the media, the government, they are complicit and they will do everything they can to cover it up. Now, this is not just what happened during the Holocaust. This is many other instances here, and I'm going to talk about it today. And to be quite honest with you, it's a little gruesome. However, I will not be showing any of the images. Let's go into this today. Unit 731 of the Japanese Imperial Army. They were doing testing on people, and let's just read one of these things. It was a research program, one of the greatest secrets of Japan, after and during. So it wasn't just during this World War II, they were actually conducting the same tests after the war was over. And it was a project to develop biological warfare, including the plague, anthrax, cholera, and dozens of other pathogens. And they would do field testing, and they would drop these plague bombs on Chinese cities and see what would happen. See the effect that would happen, like they're rats inside of a cage. That's really so terrible, and there's very descriptive things here that you can read into. I'm not going to really get into that, but what I want to get into is this. The research was kept secret after the end of the war, in part because the United States Army granted immunity from war crimes prosecution to the doctors in exchange for their data. That right there is criminal. They should have had their data, and they should have prosecuted them as well. They were doing crimes, and they were actually not having a problem with it. They were tearing people up, literally, and they were just using them like experimental tools, and nothing happened to them. Why? Because they're all in business together. All of these nations, while they seem like they're enemies, even when they're firing back and forth, those that are controlling these nations are all part of one connection here. They're all the elite structure. And we, as individuals, are not going to be part of that. We have to sort of play within their system. Let's go on quickly. See, you can't say that the government is complicit. You can't say the media is complicit because you need to support the troops. If you think that what happened in Iraq or Afghanistan, were bad, that is not supporting the troops. No matter what they do, you just have to yell, support the troops, and support the troops. Well, what about what happened in Fallujah in Iraq? World Health Organization covered up Iraq's nuclear nightmare, and they're talking about what happened with the depleted uranium being used in Fallujah, causing mass birth defects. What about the 1.2 million dead Iraqis? What about those individuals? And just to get back to that, depleted uranium was used, and it's obviously causing a problem with the troops because many have died, many are dying, but also this goes beyond, and there is now mass birth defects, stillbirths, and all kinds of other problems relating to this experiment that was done on them. What about this? This is something that I've talked about once before. I'm not going to get into it too much. It's really quite disgusting when you read into it. I'll put the link in the description. The human plutonium injection experiments. This is part of the Manhattan Project, which you can Google. This is not a conspiracy theory. And they really were experimenting on people. They were injecting plutonium into them to see how the body would react. This is people that were not even being told they were being experimented on. They were just in the hospital for some sort of treatment, and next thing you know, they're being injected with plutonium. This is such an extreme example of what the medical establishment is willing to do, and this is funded, of course, by us, the taxpayer. They were doing all kinds of atrocities. I'm not going to get into it. It's just too disgusting. You can read up on it on your own, and that's all I wanted to get to today. I wanted to show you that, look, they are doing atrocities, but they're being funded, and they're being blocked, and they're being, supported by the government structure. That's the problem with the big government, is that they are allowed to use it. The individuals who have the money, who can use them as a tool, they can block, individuals from really seeing what's really going on, and they're able to do everything that we would never be able to do and never want to do anyway, and they're simply getting away with this and have been for so long as history shows. So that's all I wanted to get to. I hope you guys are joining the Money GPS Insiders. That is at themoneygps.com. Just scroll down all the way, put your email address in there, and I'm sending out some emails. I've only sent out a couple so far, but I will be getting into that shortly. And I thank all the support so far. Thank you all for the support on the Insiders as well, and as well as here on the channel. Thank you.